We've got a picture there of Guy's and St Thomas's, purely because it started there with Claire Harrison. And also, as a charity, we are under the guise of Guy's and St Thomas's Charitable Trust, which is really important to us because they do and help us with a lot of the charity commission work that we otherwise couldn't do. It was started with doctors, patients, and specialist nurses and psychologists. And the aim, and I was talking to John Mathias, our chairman, about this, the aim was really to give accurate information to as many people as we could. And actually, we are now serving that in keeping up with the original mission statement. Certainly, when I was diagnosed in 1991, there was precious little information on the internet. And what was on the internet was downright dangerous, actually, at that time. But what we do is we provide information on up-to-date information. We provide the drug leaflets. Now, many of you may have seen those out in the hallway. Please feel free to pick them up, together with all the other information sheets that you can see there. We also do Facebook, Twitter, and these are the links to our Facebook page and our Twitter page. And Health Unlocked, and I'd like to just mention Health Unlocked because that is another growing platform. What I'll let you into a secret about is all the information that is on Health Unlocked is checked by doctors, our doctors, and if there's anything there that's not correct, we will have it taken off the site. Alongside all that, we also have some of these. Now, these are little cards that have been donated to us by a patient. They're out in the hallway, and I advise you all to pick up one because you can carry them in your purse, and if you're in an accident, it's quite useful for the doctor to know what medication you're on. If you're on hydroxycarbonide and aspirin, you're not going to want to be given a massive dose of ibuprofen or aspirin-related painkillers. So I would advise any patient to pick one of these up. The buddy system, I'd like to mention that because the buddy system is for those of you who are newly diagnosed, it can be a really scary thing. And the scary thing is that dreaded word neoplasm. When I was diagnosed, it was a blood disorder, which was quite acceptable. But neoplasm was the World Health Organization's definition of MPNs. The plus side is that we get access to better drugs and access to cancer services. But I remember saying to my GP, cancer? You didn't tell me I had cancer. And he said, what is cancer? Cancer is just a proliferation of cells. So don't worry. Which actually is hugely reassuring to a newly diagnosed patient. To be a buddy, you need to have had 2 years of having an MPN. But I strongly recommend those of you who are very nervous and apprehensive about a new diagnosis, contact Maz, because we do have a tried and tested buddy system to help you along the way. And please feel free, if you need a buddy or want to be a buddy, to pick up a form and leave it there. There are lots of forms today. One of them is the feedback form, really important to us, because your feedback helps us evolve into delivering what the patients want. So, and there's also a questionnaire form for you to fill in if you've got questions for the doctors. Now, forums. Now, this to me, Maz and I have been, our roadshow has just been growing and growing. And I looked at it, and you know, when we started, 312 people in 2015. And you look at the places we've been this year, and we've still got 3 more to go. From 312 people in 2015, we will reach over 1,000 patients this year. That is huge for MPN Voice. So it's great that the community, and I call it a community, is really expanding in that way. Now, our online audience, and we look here, we have a map of the world, and to all of you, Philippines, Canada, Ireland, France, Syria, Trinidad and Tobago and Brazil, goodness knows, and Australia. I don't know what time of day it is for you watching us all. A warm welcome. But that is a phenomenal advance in the communication of MPN Voice. What do? We support research. Research is very key to us, and we also, there are drug trials, which I'm sure some of the doctors here will be talking about today. But the research is key, and actually, one of the newer ones is the mithridate, which is a first-line therapy for PV. I think that there are lots of research and drug trials going on around the country, which I'm not going to talk about because I know the doctors will talk about that. Mosaic. Everywhere we go, the patients say, why did we get it? Can it be cured? Now, this is our biggest thing here, the Mosaic study being done in Northern Ireland. And I think, as a patient, it is key to looking at the future. I feel sure that in years to come, over the years I've been a patient, treatments have progressed beyond belief. When I was diagnosed, I was told there were only 12,000 known patients in the country. There were obviously many, many more. But actually, the testing systems and science has progressed so fast, I'm sure that in time, there will be an answer. The Mosaic study is, to my mind, key to this. Please visit the Mosaic study Just Giving, because it is a constant need for us to keep raising funds, to keep it going. It's being done in stages. Advocacy. Really, really important that we, patients, have a voice with the pharmaceutical companies. John Mathias is doing an amazing job getting MPN, a small group of neoplasms, in there with the drug companies to hear what we need and what we feel as patients. And this is happening now across the world. Last night, John told me he'd got a representative now in India, which is great. Fundraising, it's a tricky thing, this, because we're growing so fast, which is fantastic, but also the costs are growing fast. So we're becoming more and more dependent on asking people for donations, however small. You know, and Maz is going to talk about fundraising in a minute, but it's, you know, tea for two, or doing a massive, big fundraising, something that you can enjoy doing. There's a picture of my son there. He did the marathon last year in the heat. I can't say he enjoyed it, but he certainly raised a lot of money for the Mosaic study.